As you can see, I went ahead and I replaced the position of the shadow layer underneath the letters layer by simply dragging it down here. Now what I'm going to do is with the shadows, I'm going to take this layer and I'm going to move it into position like so that it kind of matches up with the original logo. And if you want to be safe, go ahead and lock your letters so you don't accidentally move that. And I'm going to take the top handle of the shadows layer and I'm going to move it down like so. So I kind of flip it. Then I'll grab it and move it underneath the H like so, and the M so that the shadows will be in the right spot. Now what I'm going to do is go to Effect, and I'm going to choose Distort and Transform, Free Transform, or Free Distort, and I can grab this little handle on the bottom, and I can pretty much position my shadow where I want it to go. So I can make it as long as I want to, or short as I want to, but as you can see, I can apply perspective by using this effect here. I'll hit OK, and now you see we have our shadow. Let's go ahead and give that a fill color. So I'm going to give this a dark blue. And I'm also going to unlock my letters and lock my shadows. I'm going to start to give this guy a color now. It's time to give this logo an actual fill. Let's give it a lighter color like a teal. I'm also going to grab the E, Object Arrange, bring to front, and I'm going to zoom in so we can see what we have here so far. Now don't forget, we're going to explore different possibilities with this logo. So this is going to be the flat version. We're going to do a 3D version in a minute. But as you can see, we have our logo and we have a shadow. I'm going to unlock the shadow again and lock the letters, grab my direct selection tool, and grab this little part back here of the shadows that's overlapping and kind of hide that and tuck it behind the E. I'll go ahead and grab the whole shadow as well and just scale it down just a little tiny bit so that it fits better. And last but not least, let's take this shadow and give it a softer feeling by going to Stylize, Feather. I think 15 pixels should be enough, so I'm going to hit OK. And it's a little bit too much, so I'm going to undo that. Go back to the Stylize, let's go put the feather again and try something like 10. 10 points, hit OK. That looks a little bit better. And I'm going to once again move it into position. One of the things you can do, by the way, when you want to nudge things is use the arrow keys on your keyboard. And you can nudge things more precisely than moving it with your mouse. And I'm also going to hide the template by hitting right here to hide that whole sketch so we can see what we have here. Looks pretty good so far. One more thing I'm going to do is actually I'm going to create a brand new layer, drag it under everybody, and this will just be called color. I want to put a solid color behind this whole logo so I can really focus on it. So I'm going to grab the rectangle tool and draw out a big rectangle behind this whole logo, and I'm going to fill this color in with black. Okay, so I can see it better. I'm going to lock that. So this is just one version of the logo, but we can do a lot more to it. As you can see, we have our letters layer. We also have a shadows layer, but we can make another layer to make shadows for these guys here. So I'm going to unlock that layer again, and what we can do is we can just simply shift on all of these guys here. So I'm going to shift select all these pieces, and I'm going to press Command and Control G to group them, press Command and Control C to copy, and we're going to go to Edit, Paste in Back this time. Use your arrow key to nudge them down, and let's give this a darker color. So I'm going to give it a more of a teal color that matches this. If you have to, use your eyedropper tool to eyedrop this color here. So you can grab this guy, eyedrop it, and then you can use the sliders here to darken the color that you have selected. Let's also get rid of the stroke on the shadow. So hit X to flip your stroke to the front, and hit this guy here to get rid of the stroke on the shadow. I'm going to double click on the hand, and I'm going to move this in position so we can see what we have here. I'm going to deselect it. And that is the first version of our Mech logo.